the live Q&A. Man and boy, we got a lot to discuss today. First off, the big news of the day is that Brooklyn Nets forward Kevin Durant basically tells the Brooklyn Nets that he wants to be traded, and it seems like the two top destinations that he want to go to are the Phoenix Suns and of course the Miami Heat. So obviously we got that we could discuss. NBA free agency frenzy has got started today. And I feel like because of the Kevin Durant news, you're not going to see a lot of signings today or in the near future until he gets traded. With Kevin Durant's news, everything I feel like everybody, except for the guys who re-signed with their own team for the most part, has gotten pushed back. You got, we did officially lose PJ Tucker today. He did sign with the Philadelphia 76ers on the 3-year deal. Jalen Brunson has indeed went to the New York Knicks. We knew it was a lot of talk about him going there. And I think Bradley Beal re-signs with the Wizards. You know, um, and it's a lot of other things going on, man. But I feel like as far as with the NBA, before the rest of the free agents really get popping and really start moving around, the Kevin Durant trade got to happen first. They said the Suns and the Heat, but what I'm hearing, the Suns are definitely the favorites, though. Everybody know you cannot count out Pat Riley. Um, but the thing is, do we basically break the team apart to get him in here with Jimmy Butler? Because it seems like Jimmy Butler seems like the only player that's not going to be traded if we was to trade for Kevin Durant. Do we get rid of a guy like say a Bam Adebayo? To make this trade happen. It's obvious you'll have to come off of Tyler Hero and probably like a Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, or somebody like that. Um, but do you come off of Bam or do you try to pull the trade off where you can still keep Bam Adebayo? You know, just a lot to discuss, man. And obviously other free agents, to see what they going how they gonna move around, see what they gonna do. Just a lot to get into. Be with y'all for about a good 20 something minutes or so. Sorry I'm a little late. Work lasted a little longer, but yeah, a lot to get into, man. Braves we actually getting our butts whipped by the Phillies right now, 12-4. That's baseball for you. Getting closer and closer to training camp. So a lot to get into today. What's up, my guy Mike? What's going on, man? Appreciate you tuning in, bro. Will Durant be good for the locker room? Uh, I've never really it's never really been that, from what I understand, that Durant has been a bad locker room guy. Unlike a Kyrie Irving, you do hear a lot of things about Kyrie when it comes to being a locker room person. For the most part, Durant, his time in Brooklyn, I mean, he went out when he got healthy. He went out there, he played every night. He gave it his all. When Kyrie was going through his shenanigans this year with the whole vaccine situation, James Harden was out of weight and then wanting to be traded. Durant, he laced them up every day and he went out there and he played his behind off. Same with Golden State. He had the one incident with Draymond Green, where they exchanged words. But really, besides that, you didn't really hear nothing about Durant having issues over there. And also, in OKC, OKC obviously really wanted him to stay, but he decided he wanted to leave and join the Golden State Warriors. So I don't think Durant is necessarily a bad locker room guy. I think Durant's biggest problem is with him is that he's sensitive. When somebody says something about him, he always takes it to heart. And that's more so of an issue, with the media more than anything. I don't think it's necessarily a teammate thing with him. I think Durant's biggest issue is with the media. Whenever they have something to say about him, he goes above and beyond to protect himself. When a lot of stars of his, especially of his caliber, his resume, they ignore that type of stuff. At least most of the time. They may entertain it once in a blue moon, but for the most part, they won't really entertain it. So Durant's biggest problem is he just sensitive. He's more of a guy that don't really see eye to eye with the media. But as far as in the locker room, I don't really see him as a problem. Being a locker room presence. He gonna go out there and he gonna get buckets and try and give your team an opportunity to win. What's up? A collection of sales. Appreciate you tuning in or you responding to Mike. In my opinion, it's Jimmy Butler's team. KD needs to respect that. I mean, KD can average 30 a game as long as he doesn't come in and think he's in charge. Yeah, and I mean he went through that with Golden State. I mean, with Golden State, he was the Finals MVP for those two championship runs, but everybody knew that was Steph Curry's team. Now in Brooklyn, there was kind of a cast of new characters, so you could make the argument and say it was his team in Brooklyn. But in Golden State, that's Steph Curry. Like anybody that got anything associated with the Warriors, it's all about Steph Curry. Now, granted, that may have led to him wanting to leave that situation, but when he was there, like I said, besides the issue with Draymond, the one real heated altercation argument that he got into with Draymond Green, which I can't really fault nobody for getting into a shout match with Draymond Green. He just has that type of personality where he'll get it at you every now and then. But I don't think he'll be a problem. The only thing, because I don't hear issues of him with work ethic. Because with the Miami Heat, with Heat culture, is work ethic. Pat Riley is already saying like to Kyle Lowry, look, man, you need to be in better shape. I don't care that you're 35, 36, however old you are. You need to come back in better shape, to where you could last for the long term and be more effective whenever we get to postseason play. So I don't think that's gonna be the issue with him. As far as being a locker room guy, he seems like he wants to win. He plays hard. He plays injured. You know, and he's a great scorer. But the thing was like with him is he's sensitive. Like his biggest thing is being so sensitive and listening to the media and feeling like he has to respond to everything that somebody says about him. Never really, but when he left Golden State, everybody thought the Warriors would never be back. Steph wore that chip on his shoulder and earned his respect this year. KD does work hard. Yeah, but you see the thing with the Warriors also, the Warriors got a great organization. I feel like we got a really good organization also, though we don't have, you know, we like the next tier, like after the Warriors. The Warriors got a class A um all time type of organization where from top to bottom, everybody falls in line and everybody, everybody just follows the chain of command. And with them, the Warriors, like their biggest thing was injuries. Klay Thompson tore his ACL in that same finals that Durant blew out his Achilles. He basically was out 2 years. He spent the first year recovering from his ACL. Then he turned around and tore his Achilles. And then Steph had I think it was a broken hand or something like that last year. So he missed practically all the season. And then Draymond Green had his injury issues, with the team this year. So this year has been the first year since Kevin Durant has left that they've been fully healthy, that they've had the whole band together. And then you got guys like, for example, a Jordan Poole developing into a really, really solid player, a good scorer. Otto Porter Jr., coming in and doing big things. Andrew Wiggins, who was a former number one pick and somebody that people question his heart, including Jimmy Butler when Jimmy Butler
Mhm.
was in Minnesota. Um, but he came into this organization and he got in line and he played his role and he was viral. To me, if it wasn't for Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins would have been the MVP. Right after Steph, I would have voted Andrew Wiggins second, in the Finals MVP because especially his game four and really his game four and game five performances, really like when the series turned around for Golden State. Though we know Steph had the 43 in game four, but Wiggins was big time with not just with his scoring, but with his defense on Tatum and also his rebounding. Um, he really turned his stuff around and now he's a champion. And that's what happens whenever you go to organizations like that. You get guys that are basically cast offs and they find a home. There was this guy, even when they had Durant, is it Patrick McClaw, I think his name was, a young rookie that came in there and actually got minutes for them in the finals. They had Jordan Bell a few years ago. So even though they went through the phase where they brought in a Kevin Durant, before that they brought in a Andre Iguodala, they still develop the young players that they have. And the problem with some of these franchises, when they want a guy, they want to get a certain guy, they just give away all the young talent that they have, which is, what we dealing with right now for the Miami Heat is like, do we give away all these young pieces to try to bring in Kevin Durant? That's the question. Do you let go of a Bam Adebayo, for example, to try to bring in a Kevin Durant? Because I'm sure Brooklyn gonna want him, but yeah, they just, they're a they're a good ran organization. I feel like we're a good ran organization also. So I don't think Kevin Durant gonna be a problem as far as that aspect of it. Expounding, they do have a good franchise. Yeah, I mean they ran really well. And like their thing is whenever they had injuries, whenever they healthy, we see the sky's the limit with them. And then a lot of people forget they didn't have James Wiseman this year. James Wiseman was the number 2 pick in the draft a couple of years ago. Is arguably a really, really good young big man in this league. And they didn't have him at all this season. And they still went out there and won the NBA championship. So you expect James Wiseman to come back next year healthy, and ready to contribute, and be that low post scorer, excuse me, slash rim protector, that the Warriors need. Kevon Looney did do a good job filling in for him and doing his thing in the playoffs, particularly the finals. Though he did come off the bench after Steve Kerr made the move, to put Otto Porter Jr. in the start lineup. But yeah, I feel like Durant would be all right with us. Now, I do think that if I had to put money on it, I think that he gonna end up with the Phoenix Suns. My gut and my intuition tells me that Kevin Durant is gonna end up with the Phoenix Suns because they just, I don't know, they got a little more to offer. They're not as protective of their young talent as we are. They got Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, Cameron Johnson. They got all their draft picks. So they kind of in better position, excuse me, to be able to make that move. To pair him up, I seen Devin Booker just got a contract today too. So, to try to pair him up with Devin Booker and Chris Paul. On the side, middle of the 8, Astros leading the Yankees 2-1 without Alvarez and Pena. Yeah, I see that, man. That's a pretty good match. To me, that's the preview of the ALCS to me, the Yankees and Astros. Astros been they had a really hard fought 4-game series in Yankee Stadium last weekend, and they going at each other again today. Those two teams may be the best two teams in the American League, and I think this could definitely be a preview of the ALCS. What's up, Kevin Woods? Appreciate you tuning in. My question is, should the Heat focus on getting the point guard before looking at KD? But KD could replace PJ Tucker on scoring. A lot on scoring. A lot when it comes to scoring. I feel like we gonna, as far as the point guard position, I think we rolling with Kyle Lowry again. I don't think they really gonna go out there and try to get a young point guard. The only veteran type player that I've seen so far, besides of course, this Durant thing that has been tied to us was, us trying to go back and bring back Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder was really good for us a couple of years ago when we went to the bubble. He was starting at the stretch four alongside Bam Adebayo, and he's not the on ball physical defender that a PJ Tucker is, but Crowder was much better at shooting the ball. Though we know Tucker is capable of knocking down those corner threes, Jay Crowder was really good shooting the ball for us. So we get him and bring him back. That'll be a nice little pickup for us. And considering, especially with our rookie Jovic, we could slowly develop him because he got a lot of stretch forward potential in him with the skill set that he has offensively. So but yeah, getting Kevin Durant would be nice. The thing is for me is what do we give up for him? What's worth it? Because if you bring in Kevin Durant, anything short of a NBA championship was a failure. Like you can ask the Brooklyn Nets. I'm sure it was a lot of fun regular season nights when they were winning and all that, but anything like I said, anything short of an NBA championship is an absolute failure. So if we bring them in, we got to make sure we still have enough pieces to compete not only in the Eastern Conference but in the NBA as a whole. To try to excuse me, sorry about that, to try to win the NBA championship. But we're gonna see what happens. I'm curious to see how this thing plays out, man. Because I feel like with this Kevin Durant news, everything else been put on standby. Like everything else has basically shut down. So so that's the thing where you know if we get him, like, do we have enough around him? But we're gonna see. All the other free agents are sitting here like probably throwing their hands up in the head, like, man, we can't really make no moves right now because teams are waiting to see what they could do, what they could get, if they could get Kevin Durant. And don't forget also Kyrie Irving, because it looks like once Durant gone, Kyrie is right behind him. So with the Kevin Durant news and the Kevin Durant Kyrie Irving trades should be coming up pretty soon. I don't think they got some people think that they could possibly, get packaged together. I don't see that. I mean, it didn't work in Brooklyn. Why is it gonna work anywhere else? So and then basically you would have to give up your whole entire organization to get both those guys together. So I don't think that's gonna happen. But I'm curious. Excuse me. I'm definitely curious to see what happens. What's up, C Cole? Appreciate you tuning in. Think KD can go Portland? I doubt it. I know a lot of people feel like, oh, Dame needs help up there, and he does, obviously. But Portland, to me, it seems like it's a foregone conclusion that at some point, they gonna get rid of Damian Lillard. They just seem like they got the Anthony Simmons, young guy. They paid him today. They just seem like an organization that really, really wants to go young right now. And I feel like Dame Lillard's days in Portland right now are numbered. So I don't think Durant gonna go up there. Plus, I don't think and with a guy like Durant, place of living, though I know he's not gonna live there all year round. Like, for example, he has a home in Miami. But I don't think he wanna play, all due respect to the Northwest in Portland. I don't think Kevin Durant want to play in Portland. I know he played in Seattle for that 1 year when the Supersonics was still there, but I don't think he want to play in Portland. I could see him in Phoenix. Phoenix a nice little area. I could see him in obviously in Miami, but I don't think he'll necessarily go to Portland. What's up, John? Late here. Apologize if I said it wrong. Appreciate you tuning in. Are you following the Braves slash Dodgers slash Freeman drama with his former agent Casey Close? Also USC and UCLA going to the Big Ten. Yes, that is Well, I'm gonna start with the UCLA USC thing first. That is a big story. Like that, it really is. Um, Wow. That's interesting. Two West Coast teams going up, joining a conference with a bunch of, Mid East teams or whatever, Midwest Mid East teams. Um, yeah, it should make the Big Ten more interesting, more competitive, especially now with the whole, Lincoln Riley experiment going on in USC. That should make it really interesting. And obviously they're gonna still have their rival together going up against each other. Now what happens to the Pac-12? What do the Pac-12 do now to replace USC and UCLA? Though I know Oregon been kind of doing their thing and stuff like that. Utah been coming up, but that's big losses for the Pac-12. And I'm curious to see what any other division realignment that happens and when Texas and Oklahoma finally do come into the SEC. And as far as the Freddie Freeman thing, like I have been following it, but the thing is with me, look, I love Freddie Freeman. Freddie franchise was awesome. I went to a Braves game last year, and in Atlanta, and you just see the love that not only myself but the Atlanta Braves fan base had for a guy like Freddie Freeman. You know, but at the end of the day, he's gone. Like whether it was his decision, whether the agents botched the whole thing, however way we gonna slice it up or put it, he's an LA Dodger right now. So my concern right now is looking at Matt Olson continuously get better and better. Now in a year, 2, 3, 4, however many years it take, Freeman want to come back and be a D is available and wants to DH for us. Fine, I'll take him in a heartbeat. But ultimately though, nah, I'm just over it. Like I'm just at the point where it's like, dude, we love you, but you're no longer here. Like, I mean, I get it, everything with the agent, but at the end of the day, I still feel like you your own man at the end of the day. So if you really wanted to stay, you would have still been an Atlanta Brave. I get it. You got to take care of your family. You don't want to get shortchanged. I get all that. But apparently that wasn't the case if now he's firing agents and people coming out saying that he never wanted to leave Atlanta. So, ultimately, no matter what type of agents you have or publicists or whatever, you your own man. So if you wanted to without a doubt 100% be an Atlanta Brave, he would have been an Atlanta Brave. And me right now at this point, especially I was looking forward to the weekend when he returned. We got that out the way now. He got his ring. We got that out the way. So me, I'm focused on this current team. Oh boy. Well, it's 14-4. Phillies just hit a 2-run home run. We'll take that out tonight. That's cool and go to Cincinnati tomorrow. But with all due respect to him, he a LA Dodger now. And I'm focused on Matt Olson and the rest of these Braves. But all right, y'all, man. Let me head out of here, yo. Greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. I'll let y'all know when I go on live again. Probably won't be this weekend. I might try to shoot for, probably not shoot till Tuesday because of the holiday Monday. But thanks everybody for tuning in. Greatly appreciated. Y'all enjoy y'all 4th of July weekend. Stay tuned for any videos I may post. Y'all have a blessed one. Let's go Heat.